Hello everyone, Movie Master here with a new DVD and Blu-ray update for the month of July. It's been a long time since I've done one of these updates, and I've decided to do one because I have a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays that I've purchased within the last month or so, and I have some movies that I've been looking for a very long time, some hard to find titles. And I'm going to start first with a movie that was given to me by a good friend of mine. They run a channel called Dropping Loads. If you've never checked them out, please do so. They have an awesome channel where they do skits, DVD reviews, they have their own podcasts. I'll leave all the information on the description down below. And they gave me this movie, Animal Factory. It's an all-star cast with Willem Dafoe, Edward Furlong, Danny Trejo, John Hurd, Mickey Rourke, Tom Arnold. I've never heard about this film. If anybody knows about it, please let me know. Like I said, I don't know very much about it, but I will be checking out this film very soon. Thank you, Maria and Milky, for this film. The next one up is a sequel to a film that was released in the 1980s. A very lesser-known film, but a movie that really changed my whole life because it's a film that is so corny, so cheesy, that you can just watch it over and over again. And that movie is Deadliest Prey. This is the sequel to the film called Deadly Prey. Deadly Prey is about a guy who was captured and placed in a jungle setting that looks very much like Vietnam, and he has to survive being hunted by people like a game preserve. And it's so corny, so over the top, and I really think the directors of that film wanted to make a good movie, but it just ended up being really, really corny. If you do have a chance to check it out, find it. It's not available on DVD nor Blu-ray, but you can watch it on YouTube. This is the sequel to that film, and it stars most of the actors from the previous film. I don't know much about this one, or how good it is, but I'll definitely be checking it out. The next one up is a movie that I had a hard time finding. I had a VHS copy of the film, and I finally found it on DVD through eBay, through a seller, and it's called Resurrection. This film is this movie is with Christopher Lambert. It's a pretty good movie. It's actually a crime film about a guy who wants to replicate the body of Christ. He's capturing people, sequestering them, and once he has killed them, he takes body parts and is trying to make the perfect body of Christ. It sounds demented, it sounds crazy, and it is, but it's a really good crime film. It's not a horror film. This film is a very meticulated crime film. And I was surprised. It stars Christopher Lambert and is directed by the guy who did Highlander, Russell Mulcahy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And sadly, this movie's not available on Blu-ray. It's out of print, but I'm glad to have found this. Next one is a movie that I saw back in the 90s, but I've never had the urge to look for it on DVD nor Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's available on Blu-ray, but it was $1 at a pawn shop that's not too far from where I live, and the movie's called Bringing Out the Dead. I had no clue this film was directed by Martin Scorsese. When I found out, when I was looking and reading down here, directed by Martin Scorsese, I was like, whoa, had no clue. Very good movie. A lot of people give bad rap to Nicolas Cage for being an over-actor, over the top, but I like his films, and this is one of his better efforts. So, found it for 99 cents, you really can't go cheaper than that. Next one is a movie that this was a blind buy. I saw the cover, and I'm like, what is this? This looks just ridiculous. And as I was reading the back of the film, it was even more ridiculous. And that movie is Buddy Hotchins. It's with Jamie Kennedy. And this is not a comedy. I was looking at the cover and I'm like, Jamie Kennedy, where has he been all these years? He didn't have that great of a TV show, but he did have one movie that I did like, which was Malibu's Most Wanted. So I was curious about this movie. And this movie was pretty bizarre. It's about this guy who's having a really bad day, as the title, the little synopsis here saying his bad day is not your bad day. This guy has no money, he's going through a divorce, he's having a custody battle, and he goes on a little killing rampage. Really crazy film. Can't really say if I liked it or not, though. So, the next one I got at a convention, it was SuperCon here in Miami. This was a film that I borrowed it originally from a good friend of mine, and I was curious to rewatch it again and own it, and that movie is SARS Wars. This is a bizarre zombie comedy. I can't really tell you what this film is about because it doesn't really have a plot. It's all over the place. It's really eccentric, but it is enjoyable for what it is. So glad to have gotten this one. The next movie I got, you're gonna say, why in the world did you buy this movie? Why? You're better than this, movie master. And that movie is Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2. Yeah, I bought this. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Kevin James. I don't hate him. I haven't seen this one yet, but I did see the first one. I think the first one's kind of a guilty pleasure. It's not a terrible movie. It's one of those movies you watch, you know, just have it play in the background as you're doing something else. So I think this one might be the exact same thing as the first one. So Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. The next couple of titles are movies that I've been looking for a very long time. I've had a hard time finding these DVDs because they are out of print. And that is Phantasm, Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead, and Phantasm 4, Oblivion. This one, I got all these at eBay because I can't find them in MovieStop nor in FYE. They're really harder to find, and everyone online is selling them for ridiculous prices. But I was able to find this one for $22 plus shipping and handling. And this one usually goes up as much as $40, $50 because it's out of print. So I originally had this on DVD years ago, and I let someone borrow it. Never got it back, so I had to repurchase it. Phantasm 4 goes as much as $80. I was lucky to find this one for $35. It was a bid, and I ended up getting a good price on it. Same thing with Phantasm 3. I got it for a decent price. Usually these go for very, very high price. I don't know why. And hopefully one day they will release them on Blu-ray because they're actually pretty good horror films. So, we're almost coming down to the end. Kind of. I also picked up The Gunman with Sean Penn. I haven't heard too many good things about this film, but I do like Sean Penn, and I do like the director of this film, who's the director of the original Taken. But I heard this film was a little muddled, a little boring, but I am still interested in seeing it. I also picked up Survivor with Pierce Brosnan. I like Pierce Brosnan, you know, he was a pretty good James Bond. And seeing, you know, Mila Jovovich in a film with Pierce Brosnan, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, Survivor. I got this Blu-ray digibook of Empire of the Sun. I like this film. This is actually a very underrated movie from Steven Spielberg. I originally had a DVD for a long time, and I was looking for this one through everywhere. You can find this on Amazon for a pretty decent price, but I'd rather, you know, go to a store and find it, and then if I find it, I pick it up, and if it's a good price, I'll buy it right away. And I found it at MovieStop, used for $15. This usually runs around $25, $30 on Amazon, so it was not bad. And the picture quality is stupendous. If you look at DVD and compare contrast between this and the DVD, it's a difference from night and day. The DVD was released back in the late 90s. This is a better transfer. And the score from, I want to say it's John Williams, is still just as good as the first time I saw it. So Empire of the Sun in Blu-ray looks great. Highly recommend it. I also picked up another movie on Blu-ray that I originally found it on DVD for $1 at a pawn shop that's near my house. And the movie is called Thief. And I really liked the film so much that I had to get the Blu-ray of that film. And this movie, my God, it's a great film. It's from the director of Collateral and Heat, Michael Mann. And once upon a time, I didn't like Michael Mann so much. Over the years, I've had more of a patience for his films and understanding of his craft. So check out Thief. This is an amazing film. If you like movies like Drive, or movies from Nicholas Winding Refn, or the movie, I have it right here, The American, then you'll love Thief, because it's a very slow film that develops and you're starting to learn about the character. Really good movie, and the transfer on this Blu-ray, Criterion Blu-ray, is amazing. The last couple of films, I mentioned the last ones that I got. I also picked up these three, which is Oasis of the Zombies. This is not a very good movie. I have it on tape from... I have it somewhere around here on tape, and the transfer on the tape is terrible. but I heard this was on Blu-ray, so I picked it up online, and I want to see how the quality looks on this film. And I also picked up Zombie Lake, which has been out of print for a long time. It was only available through the Euroshock Collection series, as was Oasis of the Zombies. But now that they released remastered on Blu-ray, I definitely want to check these out. I also picked up The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I've never seen this film. I know it's a slasher, and they just remade this film. They just released a new one, and I was just about to pick that one up, but I ended up picking up the original instead. If I do like the original, I might pick up the new one. If you guys know anything about this one or the remake, let me know what your thoughts are on it on the comments down below. And the last title I got was Star Wars The Clone Wars, The Lost Missions. If you've never seen the Clone Wars series, check it out. I originally had my doubts about the series. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And I'm now on the second season of the show, and it's really, really good. And since I'm watching it, and I will be reviewing all the Star Wars films and the Star Wars Clone series, I decided to pick up The Lost Missions, being that I want to watch everything and I want to review it. So if anybody knows about The Lost Missions, please let me know, because I'm not so sure how this one fits with the rest of the Clone Wars series, because the funny thing about the Clone Wars series is that the episodes are all over the place. They're not in chronological order. So I might have to check online where these episodes fit with the rest of the series. So that's everything that I purchased. Stay tuned. I'm going to be reviewing a James Bond film. Well, not a James Bond movie. It's actually a film about the author of the James Bond films, Ian Fleming. There was a film that was made about his life called Spy Maker, The Secret Life of Ian Fleming. And I'm going to be reviewing that film, and I'm going to make an announcement in that film, because I want to review all of the James Bond films leading up to Spectre. And I also will be reviewing all of the Star Wars films leading up to Star Wars The Force Awakens. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, please let me know. Leave it on the description down, leave it on the comments down below. Until next time, bye.